What's up, everyone? So, in this episode, right, we're going to be covering the coins that are back in the day really, really hot, right? Like from the top of my head, because right now I think BTC just took a very nice retracement, and the market is still deciding what it wants to do. So I decided, hey, why not come out and do a fun episode, right? That is not necessarily coin specific, but more of coins that were hot back in the day. And if you still had them, or if you bought them this year, how are they faring? So I'm gonna just go through coin market cap, and this is pretty much a very impromptu session where I am non-biased. It's just basically whatever from inquiries that came through our email to hot coins that were like all the shit back in the day. And I mean, like, how are they now? Are they still holding well in terms of price? Are they actually have they already exceeded their all-time high? I think not many coins have done that. So the only question is, if you're still hodling them, what are your thoughts? And of course, if you are, if so happen that I mention a coin that you're holding, I hope that you don't take any offense. At the same time, feel free to comment and chat. In the box. And of course, naturally, if you guys have certain coins that you want to check out, like we just want to take a look from a technical aspect to a fundamental aspect, just facts that I can remember. It's just a very fun episode, guys. So all right, so now the whole idea is I'm gonna just cover a few things. So back in the day, there was these District 0x. Okay, so let's go to the charts right now and check out District 0x. That was a exchange. So there was waves, there was District 0x. Okay, those were pretty hot back in the day. So let's just check it out. Okay, so District 0x, I think, is District 0x. Wait, let's see. Yes, Dent, right? So Dent was pretty much a pretty hot coin back in the day, still ranked 362 with a total supply of 1 billion. Now, in terms of price, okay, now I cannot exactly remember where these guys are at, so I probably have to look at the market tab to kind of see where they're trading, and then we'll kind of look like where is it at now. Okay, so let's just also comment about a few things, or at least thoughts about the market while we're doing this episode. A lot of the coins that we used to think that were hot shit are no longer hot shit, right? And what is kind of worrisome is that the market has kind of become a little bit smarter, where they will kind of segregate, and they will kind of segregate where most of the focus, the volume, and attention goes to these coins. Now, that will go to a certain amount of coins, not these coins. Okay, so I'm just gonna be picking them off my head randomly from what I remember, right? And then obviously there are 2,000 over coins now, more than back in 2017. So yeah, there will be coins that I can remember, certain coins that I can't remember. So if you look at DNT, for example, DNT back in the day, I think if anyone can remember, was pretty hot. But if you look at the 24-hour volume, just based on CoinMarketCap, there are exchanges even that I am not even familiar with. There is this exchange called Mercatox. Wow, okay. I mean, everybody knows Binance, everybody knows BitTrue, but you look at the 24-hour volume. So just so you know, if you're looking at CoinMarketCap for the very first time, the 24-hour volume, when you see it's a collective of all the exchanges, right? The total volume. So this is actually pretty bad, guys, because if it can't even hit $1 million if it doesn't even hit $1 million in one single exchange, I usually automatically discount it. I usually trade anything that's above at least 5 million in a 24-hour time frame. At least within one exchange, it has to be anywhere from 5. Okay, if it's a small cap, if it's really small cap, I would really suggest that you stick that at least consistently. It should be 1 mil and above. Okay, there are not many cryptocurrencies that can do 5 million to 10 million on a daily basis on a single exchange. It's actually very rare. So okay, back in the day, this was pretty hot shit. Now let's look at the price, right? As I don't think it even has a US dollar tether. So okay, it just goes to show that when you have a pairing, at least a cryptocurrency that has a US dollar tether pairing, right, it requires that much more liquidity. So it's not easy to get, guys. At the time when everyone was trading Bitcoin, right, or at least using Bitcoin to trade altcoins or using Ethereum to trade altcoins, right? So there would be two main pairings. Anything that is paired against BTC, anything that is paired against Ethereum. So there would be ample liquidity in these two cryptocurrencies, and there will be pump and dump groups that will obviously coordinate to pump a certain particular coin. So right now you're going to be seeing this whole space start to evolve, and US dollar tether is now the choice for most people. Okay. As you can see, I think when you say most people, I think a lot of the Asians just prefer using US dollar tether. Personally, my personal preference is using US dollar tether as well. Why? It's just very simple. When you look at taking profits into BTC or taking profits into Ethereum, even if you're gaining on a Satoshi level, but if your BTC or Ethereum decides to take a shit, right, just like it did. So let's say, for example, you were doing great in a particular alt and you did well and you profited from that trade, but you went back to BTC or you went back to Ethereum. At that time, when, say, for example, BTC was at 13,000 or Ethereum was at 350, right now, that drop in the value would have caused your portfolio overall value to drop, but in terms of Satoshi, you're still up. So if you're playing the long game and you believe that Satoshi or at least BTC will go up overall in value, then naturally your game plan should stick to Satoshi gains. But if you want to take your profit and loss in US dollars, then obviously the obvious choice would always be taking profit into US dollar tether. It's just a preference. There's no right, there's no wrong. Okay, so now the next one is Genosis. Back in the day also, Genosis was pretty hot. Okay, so I'm just running through whatever that comes to mind, guys. Like I said, you can feel free, man. Feel free to put out whatever the BitConnect fuck, guys. Look, man. To be fair, I think that was a cryptocurrency, but the brilliance, okay, the brilliance of how they managed to create that virality. See, I used to pronounce the word wrongly. I used to call it virility, but it's actually virality, where it goes viral, is through the network marketing MLM model, right? So the network marketing MLM model is always very hyped up. Everybody buys a particular product, and that product can be a digital to actual physical product, right? So everyone's just buying it randomly, not really thinking too much about whether there was a mechanism behind it, and all they had to do was just create certain things like ATM, debit cards, all these things that you can just produce at a very, very cheap price. And obviously BitConnect was doing pretty well back in the time. So spending money on the facade was really easy. Create some conferences, throw out some marketing dollars for some party for all the leaders. Carlos Matos is one of the very good example, right? It was back in the day as well. I mean, never got involved, but it was one of those things. So okay, another hot shit was Genosis. So let's see how this fella is doing. Wow, this is the shit, man. Look at it in the whole of the 24-hour volume. Okay, as I mentioned, 24-hour volume is only 61,278. This is a $23 token, right? With a 10 million supply and a circulating supply of 1.1 million out there. If you are still holding it, it really depends. Let me know, man, in the comments. If you bought it during the ICO, is it still up? Maybe, because if you're someone who bought in during the ICO, it could actually still be up. It's very, very possible. So Genosis. So that's a very quick rundown. Started in 2015. Genosis is a decentralized prediction market build. Okay. So this looks shit to me. But okay, let's look at another prediction market. Back in the day, Augur was one of the hot coins. When I was trading Augur, I think it was about $6 to $7. That was when it was very first time. It was back in Poloniex and Bittrex. So these two. Let's see now. Okay. So the apparently now LA token seems to be having a decently healthy volume. Rep BTC is 1.69 and Hit BTC is having it at 798. Okay. So okay. Another token that comes to mind is Cyber Mouse token. Now these guys and these guys actually engaged us for a little bit of marketing back in the day, but they were just way early. So let's see where they're at. So apparently I did notice that CyberMouse token in the last 24 hours did pretty well. Okay, so I mean, this is 72 million is no joke. Okay, it's really no joke. But if you look at it, right, from where it was, right, and where it is now, it's just, I mean, look, even if you had held it all the way until where it is now, I mean, today is like, maybe makes you a little bit happy, but I don't know. I mean, it really takes a lot to kind of recover. I mean, when I say recover, right, guys, let's just assume that you just want it to break even at some point. It's really very far away. It's really far away from where it is right now. I mean, obviously there's for the fact that there's such a huge volume. So let's see where all the volume is coming in from. So usually it's the typical thing, right? It's the next generation blockchain for smart contracts, blah blah blah. Everybody claims that they're one of the next Ethereum, or they're going to be better than Ethereum. I'm like, what the fuck? How are you going to be better than Ethereum? Seriously, it's open source. Lots of developers, like, they spend all the money trying to educate all the developers. This kind of stuff, it's not something that you can just say that you could easily garner enough interest. So anyway, well, I mean, in the last 2 days, if somehow you had looked at this token, right, you would have already almost tripled your money, right? Almost, right? And 72 in terms of volume is pretty sick. Okay, 21 million is pretty sick, guys. So yeah. So these guys actually engaged me back in the day. I didn't really bother. I wasn't really into it. I just felt that the whole, okay, if I remember correctly, the CyberMouse token was all about traveling, right? And they were wanting to incorporate travel and using incentives with travel, that kind of thing. It's kind of cliche. I didn't find it very attractive as well. But yeah, if they did have an infrastructure going on where they linked up the hotel booking engine together with your ability to book airfare and hotel stays and so on and so forth, it's okay. It's like I said, it's like using Grab tokens, or at least having Grab credit. Grab is basically our local equivalent of Uber, and actually Grab kicked Uber out from our country, right? And in fact, Uber gets kicked out in quite a lot of countries, apparently, when it came to the point where the locals or the local business people were able to replicate the model. Yeah, it was just better cost, more friendly, and I guess Uber just lost out most of their markets. CMT doing pretty well. Let's see now. Let's go to the chat. Oh, VeChain. Okay, wait. The VeChain. Okay, let's look at VeChain, man. VeChain. Wait, let's see. Okay. VET. Yes, VET. Okay. VET. If I recall, VeChain was heavily covered by I think box mining. Is it? Yeah. That's the thing. Right? There are so many cryptocurrencies. So never mind. Like I said, if you're still holding the coins today, so let's say if you were holding VeChain today, let's very quickly look at the overall volume. Looking pretty sexy, but it's on LA token, 18 million. Wow. Fuck, that's a lot. Okay, then there's Ocean EX, which is, guys, you gotta help me out, man. If you have a good impression of Ocean EX, now LA token, by the way, I used to have a friend who was working there as a sales representative. I'm not sure whether he's still working there. I probably should give him a call. I think I've seen LA token on quite a number of the coins of so far in the list that we've been looking through. So maybe I should give him a call and see what's up. Okay. So VeChain. Okay, let's see. VeChain, the ICO price. Oh no, it doesn't state the ICO price right here. Well, coin market cap. If you should actually help out in terms of putting it out there. So VeChain, let's see in terms of the charts, how has this fella been performing? Yeah, I mean, look, this is the all-time high, right? Okay, let's look at Coinergy then. Let's see where's VET, man. So VET. Okay, if you look at VET, you see, that's the thing. Coinergy doesn't have every single coin on the market as well. Okay, to be fair, Coinergy doesn't have every single coin. So sometimes they are listed on an exchange that was way even before Binance even existed, right? And then now, because a lot of new exchanges start listing the tokens without the consent of the project, and of course, naturally in this space, right, you don't have to ask for permission as long as you are willing to support the wallet for that particular token, or that whether it's an ERC20 BEP2, like say for example Binance Chain, right, is Binance Chain's token is called BEP2. And then whatever other format is, as long as there's volume, I guess people will, and especially if you're a new exchange or you have some kind of partnership agreement going on with that particular project, you can either list with their consent or list without their consent. So it really just depends. Okay, so anyway, VAT. Let's say if you were in BTC, obviously with BTC raging on, nowhere near are you going to be making money. Yep, so VAT has a lot of the coins, I noticed, right, have this very similar pattern where they would, if you had really used your USD and came in at the new all-time low, obviously, which is the late 2018 to early 2019, you are looking kind of okay. This fella has yet to double up, right? Because if you had bought it at 0.004 cents, now it's 0.00769. The high was in fact 0.01. Not too bad, VAT looking pretty well. Let's see. Let's look at let's see. Oh wow, Verge. Okay, let's go. Verge. Yeah, Icon. Okay. I'm sorry, guys. I didn't realize there was quite a number of people watching now. Okay, let's go to Icon. Yeah, Icon. Yeah, why not? Yeah, Icon is very popular back in the day. I still remember Peter Saddington talking a lot about Icon as well. Looks pretty shit to me at the moment. Let's see if you had bought it at the all-time low. Nope, 20 cents now up. Okay, so if you had bought it at the all-time low, let's not say that we could have picked it up in these few days. Okay, which is the 18 cents. Icon was doing pretty well back in the day. What was the high? 240. Okay. I never touched Icon because personally, it was known as so back in the day it was known as the Korean Ethereum, right? And Peter, who runs the decentralized TV, was pretty aggressive, and I think he's building something on Icon as well, right? Everything is done for a reason. So that guy is pretty sharp, and naturally he builds stuff. He's not so much of a speculator. He also was putting out a lot of a dollar cost averaging plan for LTC Litecoin, and at the same time there was a plan to kind of occasionally buy Doge, and I think he was doing a test with Mysterium where whenever he made a video and everybody would kind of buy Mysterium, whether Mysterium would actually move. So it was just one of those things, right? Icon, what can I say, guys? Bought it at 20 cents, now it's at 30 cents. That's a 50%, I guess, right? 20-30 cents. Yeah, correct. So it's 50% up. Yeah. So if you're happy, you're happy. Still not too bad if you bought it at the all-time low and where it is now. The next token that you look at is ADA. Hey, look, ADA I think is still pretty prominent. Yeah, we can look at ADA, guys. ADA is definitely still one of the cryptocurrencies that still is probably poised to do something, right? The whole ecosystem is huge. IOHK is really well funded. Run by Charles Hoskinson, one of the more prominent players in the game. It's just like EOS being run by Dan Larimer. And of course Dan Larimer used to have Steemit. Yeah, we should check out Steemit as well. So ADA, 5 cents, now at 8 cents, right? So 5 cents, 8 cents, nothing spectacular, still very far away from its all-time high. Maybe it will be poised to move pretty significantly very soon. A lot of these altcoins, sometimes you guys can pop up just because, version 2.0. Coins can pop up just because it has a potential listing on somewhere, which was what happened. I think, what the hell was that coin? There was a coin that recently listed on Coinbase Pro. See, that's the thing. Too many fucking coins, man. You can't even remember the shit. Okay, the fact that you can regurgitate quite a number of coins is really pretty sick, already. Okay, next is a guys. Oh, Lisk. Oh, all right. Okay. Let's LSK. Is it Lisk? Yeah. I see. I even fucking remember token, man. LSK. Oh, okay. So LSK and Nulls, man. Nulls was also yeah, I guess pretty popular. Yep, this is the shit, bro. If you're on your own, you're on your own on LSK list. List was a competitive with Lumens or something like that. Yeah, XLM, right? Okay, so let's see how XLM is doing. Okay, so we have to look at two things. If there's a dollar, wow, yeah, this is pretty bad. This looks pretty bad, guys. This is pretty bad. And then XLM BTC, obviously even worse, right? Back to the all-time, like literally hodl all the way from, all-time high to all-time low, back to the low again, because, BTC is still the king, right? And Lumens, wow, nowhere near nowhere near the good times, man. But hey, all these things are so hard to tell. As long as BTC keeps smashing through new resistance levels or recovering relatively quickly, a lot of altcoins will not benefit, right? So the only sucky thing is that, if you hold on to BTC, you're really looking for the overall adoption. And unfortunately, even if the company is doing pretty well in terms of development or actually making some headlines or heat waves, yeah, maybe it's only the shareholders, as in anyone who's holding the actual shares of the company, will truly know how the company is doing from a financial standpoint. Token holders don't get jack. The only reason why exchange tokens have been doing so well is because there is a certain level of transparency where they will tell you how much revenue was made, and a portion of that revenue is going to be used to buy back tokens from the market. Huobi is making that effort. Binance makes that effort as well. There are quarterly token burns. Whenever a participation of an IEO voting goes through, people who use the tokens to participate in the IEOs, those exchange tokens will be burned and taken out taken out of circulation. So overall, it kind of helps to sustain the price. So there is an effort to create a certain level of sustained value, and creating as much or as many utility functions within the ecosystem. You see, exchange tokens do make that effort. Okay, so yeah, of course, most of these exchange tokens are still ERC20. As for Binance, Binance has now the BEP2, right? So, I think Binance, I think recently I had a chat with a Binance representative because we want to get one of the companies listed on the exchange. But nowadays you have to jump through a few hoops. So you have to go through Binance chain first, and then if you perform relatively well, then you will get promoted to the main chain. I don't think there's a straight through these days. Now, obviously, you never know. Sometimes you have tokens that can bypass everything. Just because of relationship. It's always about 关系 at the end of the day. Yeah. So yeah. So Ada, let's see, what have I not covered. Okay, hi everyone. Hi Chris, Jay Constant, nice to see you, man. You think that the alts are all low, they will go much lower. Yep, possible, as long as BTC keeps getting smashed, for sure. Let's see now. People wake up, one BTC dominance broke. Yeah, BTC dominance now is really back to the 62%. So it just goes to show that a lot of people are actually buying into BTC, which is probably a good thing. You want BTC to increase in value so that there is a potential that if you made a good altcoin investment, but for now, I think a lot of people are heavy in BTC. I personally am not heavy in BTC, guys. I still believe that the coins that you purchase eventually, especially those who have an objective, right, will outperform BTC eventually. Okay, because actually BTC, if you think about it, right, 3,002 and now the current price point about 11,001. So you can say it's anywhere from 3x, so it's about 300% on top. There are coins that have done 300% as well, so it just depends on what you're looking at. Of course, if you look at Satoshi, naturally it's a no-brainer buy BTC. But if you are buying an altcoin and hope to beat BTC, it's not going to work, right? So you have to look at it from a US dollar tether perspective, and obviously you have to have real investors in your coin. If you just have speculators, honestly, you're not gonna make it. It's just the way it is. Okay. Quantum. Okay, let's look at Quantum now. Quantum has actually been moving, guys. Okay, so let's go to Quantum on CoinMarketCap. I have 0 Quantum at the moment, so you know, don't I have no more Quantum for a very long time, guys. I let everything go at the 40 to $45. I was never able to cash out at the all-time high, because there was an error on Ledger back in the day, and that was when Quantum was $60. I had an error on Ledger that, you know, could not allow me to transfer out onto the exchange. By the time I got back, it was already $40 to $45. There was practically not enough volume. So basically Quantum, let's see in terms of markets, looking pretty attractive, guys. Looking pretty attractive. I think of late there is definitely something going on, because if you look at L Bank, okay, so let's just agree to disagree. There's a certain portion of the volume that is legitimate. There's a certain portion of the volume that's not legitimate. But looking at the volume alone, I'm very surprised that L Bank, right, CoinEgg, which I've never heard before. L Bank I've heard before, but not CoinEgg, are actually one of the heaviest hitting. And even if you look at Huobi Global, right, okay, Upbit, pretty decent, guys. There's definitely something going on within Quantum. Okay, there's definitely something going on within Quantum at the moment, you know, and I've noticed that as well, because Quantum has been stuck at the okay. So, you know, everybody knows that I was one of the most, you know, shillers of Quantum back in the day, right? But ever since then, development has slowed down. You know, it's starting to pick back up again. But like I said, as long as I cannot quantify how much stuff is being built on a smart contract protocol, like if you go to dApp's review, right? Okay, let's if you guys think that I haven't been doing my research, guys, you're fucking wrong, man. So if you go to dApp's review, right, you can just see, right, you can just see who's building what. Okay, so you can see, okay, so you can see who's building what. So if let's say you go to the dApps, right, I think it's analytics, yeah, okay. So you can just see who's building what on where, and the top 3, right, that have the most dApps. Okay, wait, let's see. Wait, let me get the things right first. Hold on, guys. Transactions, users. Okay. Okay, so if you look at dApps, right, if you talk about dApp development, actual dApps being developed, right, the 3 biggest players, you see, the reason why EOS's price also dropped significantly was definitely something happened. You know, definitely something happened. That's why the price dropped from I think close to $8, and it dropped 30%. Because there was a huge dip. I think there was some downgrade. It was either because of the downgrade, or there was some kind of error that was found, you know, on the US side. EOS is still number 1 in terms of China's ranking and rating, but on the US side, by Wires, apparently they got downgraded. But overall, right, EOS, Ethereum, and Tron still lead in terms of dApps. So, which leaves me to think, okay, probably Quantum is doing something, or else the volume won't be like that. Okay, so maybe in the upcoming, you know, days to months, there could be some price movement. So take note. Yeah, take note. Okay, I'm still, wow, shit. Okay, I'm still in Neo. Okay, let's look at Neo, man. Neo, yeah, okay, Neo, right, was, you know, back in the day was the N shares. Okay, Neo was the N shares. Wow, this guy was the $2, and now it's at $17. You know, so you know, I wonder how is that. Same thing. Okay, it's now doing, wow, this CoinEgg. Oh, okay, you see, so guys, sometimes, right, there's too many cryptocurrencies and too many exchanges out there, and it attracts you. You know, they pull you away because, you know, you got to be careful. You just really have to be careful, because sometimes all these internal systems, right, I mean, at the end of the day, you always can fake and wash trade. You can always create your own volume. You're in control. You know, if you're an exchange, you're in control of the volume, what goes in, what goes out. You can use bots to facilitate all this. It's not difficult, okay? So, but yeah, you know, 74 million, right? 74 million. Let's look at the charts, what's been going on with Neo. Neo BTC. Okay, you see, as you can see, the exchange that I mentioned is not there yet. Okay, and look at it. Okay, against sats, if you can see, it's fucking at the all-time low. But against US dollar tether, okay, let's look at US dollar tether. There is some life. There is some life going on, pretty similar to a lot of the tokens right out there, right? Not too bad, right? $4 back to $17, right? Which was sorry, not $4. 666 to $17. 6, 12, 18, 3x, almost 3x. Neo, okay, if you bought at the all-time low. Okay, I still remember you got me into quantum cause you shielded, Ryan. Haha. Well, my dear friend, getting in, you have to also learn how to get out fast as well. Okay, that's part of the game, my friend. Now, Ryan, one book do you recommend to learn about finance and risk management? Okay, the book. I'm not sure whether it was you, Tibor, but I think I also commented. A large part of the experience that I have was really on the job. Risk management, and when it comes down to your financial risk management and everything like that, if you want to ask me whether I have a book, there's only 2 books that I read: The Intelligent Investor by Benjamin Graham and Security Analysis. Okay, so these 2 books, right, are thick and boring as hell, but if you really want to go down to it, right, this is the old school way. Now, it's good to get a foundation, but sometimes a lot of what you learn in these 2 books cannot apply to crypto because there's no financial or income statements that are provided by this space. Zero. So there's no way that even if you read those 2 books, right, you kind of try to understand and you build a portfolio and you try to deduce what's a viable investment and what's not a viable investment. And from there, you kind of figure out your own risk profile. You eventually you will find out. You may think that you may have a high risk profile just because you're young or just because you're willing to throw all your money in. But as you mature as an investor, right, you kind of will figure out what you really want. And a large part about what you really want is based on your life events that happen. Okay, right now, maybe when you're younger, you may not have that many thoughts about making money. You just want to make as much money as possible so that you can be comfortable in life. You can enjoy more of what life has. Travel, buy stuff. But eventually, you will want to be a little bit more mature. You will start thinking about, okay, having a family, and when you have a family, naturally a lot of responsibilities and liabilities start coming with that. So your financial, objectives change. At the same time, the way you invest in the space, you tend to either be more or less risky. Most people become less risky, they become a little bit smarter, and that's why a lot of the more solid projects, okay, are starting to garner more investments because it's just the right thing to do. So everybody's taking a bet in the market, but it's a more educated bet. And I think there has been, a consensus in a way that more of the coins in this space, the ones that are showing the best improvements, developments, and have the best funding, are still getting the most money towards them. Now, obviously, it can be from a private equity standpoint where no one is buying the tokens, but they're buying they're investing in the team. They want to have equity. They want to have equity in the company so that if there's any potential future growth, they are definitely in it to win it. But then there is the aspect where there are folks who still believe that tokens are going to do pretty well, right? And when tokens do pretty well, the ROI is actually faster because it's already listed. Unfortunately, for people who are in private equity, they're not going to be able to exit the company anytime soon because as long as the company doesn't achieve, any kind of form of revenue or any kind of sales, just plainly sales and actual revenue from the network that they have established, or having any demand of their product, how are you going to exit your investors? You can't, right? So the only way is to do some shady shit where you dump the tokens and then you exit your private investors. That's kind of the only way that I can think it, that they can reward early equity investors. Or you do a private equity placement and you get bonus tokens. It's really quite straightforward. Yeah. and my position is down 85%. Is it better to sell into BTC now or try to sell on a pump to reduce the loss in sets? Well, Felix, definitely right now, if you are in quantum, right, you might as well hold it. You might as well hold it because you got it back in 2017. So there is different price points, right? If you got it back late in 2017, naturally for it to do pretty well is not unlikely. Okay, it's not unlikely. It's just that you have to have a longer hodl. So another thing that I want to just mention, there are a lot of the cryptocurrencies right now that are going to take longer. This whole market is going to take longer to mature. And I was actually contemplating at the beginning of this episode whether or not I should, say that it's going to be a long hodl or the coins that we used to hold. If you're still holding the coins, then I guess the title, the coins that you're holding on then kind of appealed to quite a lot of people. But adding on to that, now the market is more mature. So you're seeing more volume, but you're also seeing for the fact that it's not a clear-cut, all-out altcoins all over the place are bursting left, right, and center. It's very strategic. And you want to position your money where directly where the money is, where the inflow, where the tide is going to come in. You don't want to be standing in another beach or in another part of the world where there's practically no waves and you're the only guy with the surfboard and there's no waves coming in. Yeah, it's pretty sad. So don't be that guy. Okay. So XMR. Yeah, that's right. Monero, right? XMR is Monero. Yeah, XMR. There's XMR and there's Dash as well. Yeah, Dash back in the day was pretty good as well. Okay, so wow. Oh, okay. So XMR is kind of doing pretty well on a US dollar tether point of view. Okay. Let's see. Oh. Yeah, I mean, okay. Another thing I want to point out just before I forget. Okay, you see this consolidation? This consolidation was when BTC was $6,000. So it's already very encouraging. Okay, it's already very encouraging when you see your altcoin actually break past this mark. If your altcoin cannot break past this mark, right, you are more or less pretty fucked already. It's quite discouraging. That means if you cannot even break past this mark, it's quite sad. And obviously, having a retracement is fine because that's what BTC did. So you see, Monero is actually doing pretty well. Okay, it's still on an uptrend, right? Corrections are fine. It depends on how parabolic the movement. Remember the hockey stick, right? The more parabolic the movement, the faster the retracements. So okay, Monero is looking pretty good. Another one I'll look at is Dash, right? At the time, wait, is it? What shit? I can't remember what. Wait. Dash. Yeah, I can't fucking remember, guys. It's Dash. Dash. Yeah, Dash is Dash. Yeah, that's the thing. Oh, it's back to 155. Wow, 24-hour volume looking pretty heavy as well. But now it's on bw.com and zb.com. Okay. Wow, no longer Binance. No longer. Wow. Okay, that's interesting. Let's look at Dash. DASH. See. No, wow, it's like, wow, guys, the exchanges that they're on right now is no longer the same. It's like, okay, but it has kind of recovered, right? ETH went down to $80 back in the day, and ETH recovered back to a high of $350 recently. So naturally, the ROI for you buying into Ethereum at the low and comparing to Dash's all-time low, naturally, you buying Ethereum at the all-time low for this year would have been way better. The ROI would have been better. Compared to Dash. Yeah, then Dash I think they still have the master nodes. At the time it was really, really hot. I think one Dash was $500 or something like that, Yeah, the all-time high. Crazy, very crazy. But what if you're on the beach with the biggest upcoming wave while the other beach has smaller frequent waves? Okay, that's a very good question. Well, it really depends, right? So see, that's the thing. I'm someone who prefers consistency rather than waiting for that one wave that will come every 5 years. So it really depends. Naturally, the wave that comes once every 5 years, you got to make sure that you're willing to go out there every day at a certain particular time, and hopefully when the wave comes, you're there, right? You could be sleeping, you could be out on a holiday with the family, that kind of thing, right? But the moment the wave dies down, you have to wait another 5 years. You see where I'm coming from? So I would prefer a beach where it has more smaller frequent waves that I can go out and surf every day at a specific time, and I am able to plan around my day. Does that make sense? Yeah, so that's it. Oh, okay. Chain coin. Wait. Chain coin. Okay. I remember this coin now. CHC. Fuck. It's gone, guys. CHC is gone, guys. There's no CHC. It's taken out from the market. There's no chain coin anymore, man. They took it out from the market. This was, I remember this guy, man. The guy is called High on Coins. He's still fucking doing videos, man. You know what? I really find it very interesting. The world is just very forgiving. There's still Trevon James. I think what's his name? Ryan. There's another Ryan that did BitConnect. He disappeared. I think Ryan and Nick or some shit. Yeah. So yeah. So and then after that, there's High on Coins, which is the dude that is in his shack and he talks about chain coin. And at the time, the whole logic was just to support the buy wall, right? So there were people who would buy make sure to keep the orders high. They would buy at the buy wall, and now the fucking coin is no longer around. I can't even search for it, man, because it's no longer there. Okay, so I think Atom is a coin. Now that we are going through coins, I think Atom is a coin that you kind of want to look at the moment, because there is quite a bit of hype around it, because apparently Binance's chain is built on Atom. So if there's any consolation, if it means anything to you, you can take a look at Atom. Yeah, if you're wondering. Dash was 1005. Yeah, wow. Okay. What do you think about Tron? Well, my friend, Tron has been just doing what it does best, which is marketing. I think a large part about this space, right? As long as you're willing to shill out, really millions of dollars, which is obviously investor funds and a mixture of just having being in the market at the right point at the right time. I think everyone really didn't think Justin Sun would really make it to the point that he has today. I mean, you really have to give it to this guy, right? That despite the fact that he doesn't command a very strong level of English, right? Clearly CZ does much better in terms of his presentation and everything like that. But you must hand it to it that Justin does make the right moves, okay? And because of that, and you know what, money does talk. And of course, the way you spend your money is very important. Recently, as you know, he bid for the lunch with Warren Buffett, and now I think Charlie Lee is going along as well. Yeah. So these kind of things don't happen by chance. Everything is still relatively calculated if you think about it. And whatever he's doing, right, obviously Tron will be more known to the world right now, and people will buy Tron. So the idea is, what's the objective at the end of the day? If the objective is to create more value, and at the same time, when the value of Tron goes up, naturally maybe he can spend more money on, he did acquire BitTorrent, right? How is he going to monetize BitTorrent? Maybe it's going to be, and BitTorrent was not by any means was money making, right? I think for the 7 to 8 years that Torrent was up, it never made any money. I think he bought Torrent like at cost price, for the fact that it was maintained and everything like that. Like, I remember it was, I think 150 million or 130 million, something around that range. Yeah, so okay, so let's see now. I still have these fucking coins though. Look, man, I'm gonna let you have that comment. Yeah, look, guys, we are all discovering the space, okay? We are all discovering the space. That's why we must look back and have a laugh at it. It's just like, fuck. It's just like when you used to. It's like when you used to to like this girl, okay, that you think was fucking hot, okay? But when you look back, right, you're like, what the fuck? Why was I even with this girl? Like, damn, man, my taste was fucking bad, or I just had a bad, selection of character, but yeah, I mean, we all grow up, we all learn, man. You know what I mean? So you don't ever beat yourself up, Just make sure that you learn. You look through your selection. Why you made those selections? Do you make those selections because of emotion? Do you make those selections because you were lazy? You just followed anyone that was funny or influential? And you know what? Emotion, I realize, is one of the most dangerous things. But it also could help you determine certain aspects, right? So when I say emotion, there are some dudes, right, that are able to sell pretty well. And when they're able to sell the idea pretty well, so I'm gonna give a big face Ryan right now, to kind of drive the point home. There are some folks, right, that can sell pretty well. Now, just take note, right, that whatever that I've always been putting out as content, right, it's very difficult for my kind of people, as you know, my channel is not the largest. Okay, I'm no fucking box mining. I'm no Ivan on tech. There's no way that when I talk about a coin, right, the fucking thing is gonna go up. And whenever I pick a particular coin, right, it takes a long time because it's very heavy volume. It's very high volume. There's just no way. Okay, just no way. Eventually, when I mentioned about Huobi token, it took fucking 3 months before it did its it did its 4x, right? Wait, no. In fact, it did pretty well. So it was Huobi token. Everybody knows that I've been talking about Huobi the longest time. Back in 2018 when it first launched, I was talking about it. That was the very first time everyone bought at about anywhere from $2 to $2.50, and then it went back down to $1.20, went back all the way up to $6. I'm now still talking about Huobi token. I been a little bit more vigilant and just bought Binance as a token. I mean, just dollar for dollar. Let's say if I was put $10,000 in Binance and $10,000 in Huobi, definitely it would have been way better if I had put my money in Binance, right? So, but I always believe that you need to do things right. Sometimes you do things fast is very important as well. And Binance does things fast. So when they do things fast, they're aggressive. They push through a lot of barriers. And when they push through these barriers, right, it's like, do first, we talk later. And yeah, that really worked out for them. That's why their token is where it is at the moment. They push out things just faster. While Huobi is still not even ready to create its own chain, but it recently announced that it's working with a particular project called Nervos. Nervos is going to be its finance chain because Huobi is just basically more compliant. And when you're compliant, you're slow. I think like Polymath is going to be the so-called security token issuer, right? It's a platform for you to issue security tokens. So Poly, right? Slow as well. The token is not doing well at all. I mean, I did buy it for a short stint of time. It went up and I sold it. But Polymath is probably one of those tokens that you want to take note of because they're compliant. But if you're someone who has very low to no patience, I don't think you should touch it because it's compliant. Compliance means slow. You have to get approval. Another good example is Libra, right? Libra is getting a lot of issues at the moment. Lawmakers are kind of lobbying to prevent, Facebook, and I made a comment in, Discord saying that how can a broke government, right, even call the shots in terms of asking a multi-billion-dollar company to not do something? Because at the end of the day, I guess it's all about playing ball. If you're functioning in my country, you follow my rules, although I'm broke. But we still need you to create jobs. We still need you, Mark, to obviously still take care of our citizens because you're always expanding. We really appreciate it. But we don't want you to overtake our financial system, because if you do that, there's a less of a pie for us to make money. So all these things are happening at the moment. Wow, guys, Pinkcoin, what the fuck, guys? Okay, one chain. Okay, One chain. Okay, one chain. Yes. One chain. Let's see, where is this guy at? 35 cents. Yeah, one chain. Okay. Oh, okay. So the 24-hour volume is 2 million. Let's see whether there's any hope for this coin. Yeah. most of it is very flat line. Okay, so like I said, anything below a million is bad news. Okay, another thing is ARK. There's ARK, Factom, and Skycoin, guys. ARK, Factom, and Skycoins. Which one do you want to look at? ARK, Aeon. Okay, so there's related cryptocurrencies right here. Wait. Let's go to the charts here. Okay, so apart from your one chain is now at 35 cents. So the question is, are you up in your one chain position? And let's go to the chart. One chain. How is one chain doing? Okay, it has only three exchanges. I would assume Binance would have the most. Obviously not doing well. Yep. So if it's really, down to Chinatown, guys. Yeah, it's volume wise is pretty bad. 840,000 in a 24-hour time frame. Whatever pump is not gonna really do too well. It's a bit sad. Everyone can't come out, guys. Everyone just can't get out one chain. Now there's also ARK. Back in the day, pretty hot shit. ARK was probably a cryptocurrency that was, I think, only on Bittrex. Yes, it was only on Bittrex. It was also on Binance though. Okay, not looking too good. ARK, the bridging technology, right? I wonder how are they? Do they even still have money? Are they still activating? Let me know in the comments, guys. I really don't know whether ARK is still alive or not. The ARK project, Quark Chain, all these coins, guys. Wow, the nostalgia is real, man. Okay, NPXS. No, I have not spoken about NPXS. NPXS is still in development, right? Zach just did an AMA. Go and check it out, guys. Like I said, any project that is still building, it's still making noise, it's still commenting, and if you're invested, you owe it to yourself to follow through. You have to follow through. You can't be not in it. Okay, now for the sake of clarity, NPXS, I had to exit the position very, very early. That was when it was on Coinbeanie for the very first time. I had to exit, right? Even though I had strong belief in the company, I felt that because the price was just way too high, right, for such a very, very quick turnover, I exited large because I had a large position, guys. I had a large position, so I knew for a fact that if the volume was going to be very bad, and for some reason I didn't wait until it went to I don't know why. Okay, I really don't know why. Sometimes the decisions that I make are not, I can't explain everything. I just felt that, okay, firstly, I had a lot of tokens. I knew for a fact that I could not exit favorably if I waited, and I was in fact pretty gung-ho because I had to use Coinbeanie. I was actually concerned about using Coinbeanie, and when I did exit, right, the pricing was just all over the place. It was really bad, and it was only it was only NPXS Ethereum, okay. But in terms of development, there are still going to be a lot of products that are going to be launched in the next few years, okay. It's not just the X phone. Now, of course, the X phone, people are saying, maybe it's way too early for its time. It's really not necessary now. But you never know, with the fact that how Pit Huang, right? Pit Huang is the CTO, the technical talent within PundiX. So give everything some time, guys. You really wouldn't know what happens. But because Zach and Danny, we know them on a personal level, there is an emotional bias, as you can say. There is a relationship that's established, and we don't want to over comment or shield, as that's why we don't keep talking about NPXS. We want to be very, very neutral about stuff. That's why I look at stuff. When I'm buying something, I mention to you that I'm buying. I'm not having the intention for you to buy it, but I want to share it on my channel. That's how it works. You see, there's zero incentives for people buying my tokens, guys, or people who buy into there's zero incentives for people who decide to buy the token that I'm buying. You get what I'm trying to say? Because there's just so much in terms of volume. yeah, it's not, I'm no Superman where I talk about a coin, the next thing it fucking goes up. If the fucking 24-hour volume is 100,000, right, and I have fucking 200,000 subscribers, everybody spends $100, yes, I can potentially exit. But if I have a fucking coin that is 10 million, right, 5 to 10 million in a 24-hour time frame, and the coin goes up when I mention it, well, then maybe I have a lot of rich investors or rich people who are watching my channel, which is really awesome, but that's never ever the case. Like, never. Okay? Okay, haha, do you guys okay? Well, guys, almost 1 hour. You know, I think it's been a very, very fruitful, fun stream to do. It's one of those things. Take note, as I mentioned, you are going to have a longer. You're going to be in this longer than you think. Although I think a lot of people thought that after a 18-month bear market, right, things are going to pick up relatively quickly. It's really not. There are going to be factors that are the crypto world is a little bit more connected now. Okay, it's definitely much more connected to the old school financial world, and people have to realize that there is some relevance to what happens in the stock market, in the political scene, that could affect the price of Bitcoin. Okay, it's no longer that there is going to be either a negative correlation or a correlation depending on the event. So take note. At the same time, altcoins are fun, but at the same time, you got to start narrowing it down. It's not that difficult anymore. It's in fact easier because the selections and the quality companies are lesser. The only worry that is always in the back of my mind, why would any company honor a token? Because at the time, whenever tokens were launched, it was for the sole purpose of raising money. And if a company decides not to honor people who invested in the tokens, it's a non-financial obligation if you think about it. Because Bitcoin across quite a number of countries is not recognized as a currency. So a large part of if anything goes down or if there's any fraud, exit scam or whatever, right, and you kind of take it up at a court of law, it may or may not hold up in court. So take note that if you're investing or lending Bitcoins, Ethereum, any type of cryptocurrency, and your country doesn't recognize it as a currency, okay, a legalized currency, which it cannot because it's not issued by your country, it will not hold up in a court of law. You see where I'm coming from? It's like, maybe let me give you a little bit more of a morbid example. If I was to hire an assassin, okay, if I was to hire an assassin, not that I am, if I was to hire an assassin to, assassinate someone, and I paid the fella already in cash, of course, and he didn't do the job, and I want to take it up in a court of law to sue this fella for not assassinating the person, and I paid him really. Let's say I want to claim back my money, right? It's not going to hold up because you get what I'm saying? It's really the same thing. It may not be as, bad, but it doesn't hold up. So you got to check. If your state recognizes Bitcoin as a form of payment, then perhaps lending Bitcoins to a friend or so on and so forth. It's the same. Why am I talking about this? Because when you invest in the company, right? And at the time, it's not regulated, guys. No one approved for anyone to do any type of fundraising. There was no right, there was no wrong. Okay? And that was why the whole ICO, IEO space really was flourishing. There was just no regulation. No government could shut it down. And of course, naturally, after a while, SEC started sending subpoenas, cease to desist. Yep, that's when the space really started to get scared. And nowadays a lot of these IEOs or fundraising is done within the exchange because it's it's like a consent, right? Because these people who are participating in the IEO are verified accounts. It's no longer that you're going to go through a website. And I would strongly, I would prefer the IEO way because, okay, it's just a lesser of two evils. Rather than going through a website with a private address and, just very, very a nicely done up web page, and you stupidly put in your BTC and Ethereum in hopes that there will be a return. You know how dangerous you know, back in the day, if you think about it, how dangerous that was to kind of put your money into a particular project just based on a wallet address. Some of them didn't even have proper smart contracts, guys. It was really based on pure blind faith by just you depositing your Bitcoin from your MetaMask or from your your ledger or whatever. Just purely just direct access. And when I thought about it, it's like, wow, shit. If this project didn't do exactly what it was supposed to do, or it didn't honor, or it was meant to be an exit scam from the very beginning, right? I could have lost a lot of money. Yeah, I come to think of it, I could have lost a lot of money. So just be careful out there, right? And like I said, we're all part of this community. It's always good to have a voice. And like I said, the Protégé Pro community group chat is free to join. Everybody can join. The links are in this description below. And I'll see you in the next live stream, guys. Thanks, and thanks for watching.